Naszym dzisiejszym gościem jest
Today my guest is an unquestionable star of the Polish music scene. Everyone knows songs like Jolka and Bal Wszystkich Świętych. Please welcome Krzysztof Cugowski, who still sings and doesn't want to stop.
Przestaje śpiewać.
Kłaniam się, dzień dobry.
Good evening and thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you for inviting me. Of course I still sing, but not everyone is happy about it.
Ale
Na płycie pojawił się...
Your youngest son, Krzysztof, also appears on the album. Does he want to follow in his father's footsteps?
i w ślady braci.
to znaczy, może nie do końca tak, ale też rzeczywiście okazuje się, że można...
Maybe not entirely, yes, but it really turns out that you want to convince your child to do something else, because I thought 3 people working in music was enough, but it didn't work. The youngest son is going more towards acting. He de facto graduated from an English high school recently, and in September he's going to a theatre music university in England. We'll see what will come out of it.
Z tym, że on bardziej w kierunku aktorstwa, on w tej chwili skończył już de facto szkołę średnią w Anglii.
Do tej pory...
Until now, we've only stayed on the topic of music, but you also had a short run with politics. Do you think that a musician has the same right as a lawyer to be a member of parliament?
Jasne, że tak.
Of course I do. I see no reason for musicians not to be politicians.
Nie byli politykami.
Mamy teraz...
We now have 2 musicians in the parliament.
No tak, no, muszę powiedzieć, że z taką...
Sure, I often follow Paweł Kuki's activities with sympathy and I wish him all the best. Previously I thought he'd fare worse, but it turned out it actually works. So I congratulate him and I root for him. It turns out his movement has a lot of reasonable, bright ideas.
Bardzo rozsądnych i przytomnych pomysłów na różne rzeczy.
You, however, ended your political career after 2 years. Why?
Czego?
Mnie się wydawało, że
Already then I was 55 years old. I was a man fulfilled in career and family. I thought it was a time to do something more. I once said the phrase a lot of people use, for Poland, for the country and such. It's thrown around too loosely, although it's a great phrase on its own, but I'm not going to say it. I wanted to do something for the city of Lublin, for people close to me, and that's all it was. Honestly, I don't regret it. I now know much more about politics and how you do politics than an ordinary citizen. I don't pretend like I'm not interested in it anymore. I am a careful observer of our political scene. I simply think it's not for me, for several reasons. Firstly, it's bound for teamwork. I'm always joking that I've done some duets in my life, but I prefer to perform solo. That's how I imagine it to be, though it turned out that it's not possible in politics, regardless of what party you're in. All political parties work in a very similar way, it's just how it is. Of course I have no resentment, and it was my choice not to run for MP. I think it was the right call.
nie kandydowałem.
Uderzył deszcz, wybuchła noc, przy drodze pusty dwór. W katedrach drzew, w przyłbicach gór, admiralski tańc. Dziwnym szkłem pustych komnat chłop przerywają rozbity czas, martwy pusty dwór.
A jeszcze takie pytanie.
I have a different question then. How's your popularity today? You mentioned earlier that the citizens of Lublin have actually gotten used to you.
It's normal, you know. I've been walking around the city for 65 years now.
Po tym mieście.
With breaks?
Wyjazdy.
Tak, ale zawsze. To się ludzie przyzwyczaili. Tak, nie, to prawda. No to jest rzecz normalna.
But still, and the people got used to it. Really, it's only natural. I'm not excited by the so-called popularity. There are artists who say that being famous can weigh too much, that they are unhappy. They must be lying. Popularity is quite nice, but the best one was during the communist era. It was great. You could get things you wouldn't get any other way in a meat store.
Z mięsem.
Unfortunately, you wouldn't get that today, unless they would let you in front of the queue.
Chyba i teraz to już chyba nawet, ale wie pani, co jest dla mnie jako człowieka już trochę starszego, takie najbardziej ponure.
It's gone, yes, but do you know what's the saddest thing for me as an older man? When the young ladies bow to me first. It's not cool because you can see my age. It's a good thing I'm not using public transport because they would move over to give me a place to sit, and I think I wouldn't survive that. That's why I avoid public transport.
Chyba bym tego nie przeżył, także dlatego unikam komunikacji miejskiej. Także
As we established, you're still giving concerts. There will be a moment when you say that you will stop and leave for the well-deserved retirement.
no tak, wie pani, stop na pewno to zrobi mi biologia, bo to nic na to nie poradzimy. Mam cichą nadzieję, że to
Surely yes, biology will make that stop for me and there's nothing I can do about it. I silently hope it will be as late as it can be, but it's not something anyone can avoid. Well-deserved retirement, I wouldn't continue on that subject. I need to save money for it all the time, so when I'm not able to work anymore, I'd have enough to survive. So I'll work for at least a few more years and then relax. I won't pretend I don't know how it's going to be, when the phones will stop calling and I won't be preparing for a concert. I have no clue. It will probably be a very difficult moment psychologically for me. When you've been doing something for 40 years, it's certainly harsh to just suddenly stop. I'm counting on God allowing me to tour and sing and make some people laugh and take away some other people's laughter for as long as it takes.
Przyprawiać o uśmiech, a niektórych o brak uśmiechu.
A jakie
And what are your plans for the nearest future? You feel fulfilled. Do you have any other dreams?
Nie, ja wie pani, jedyną moją perspektywą
My only perspective is to walk around the earth for a few more years with this health, and it's not that easy. More and more of my friends pass away or become seriously ill. In my case, it's my everyday life. I can't do anything about it. People say that when they were young, they went to parties and weddings and so on. I attend mainly funerals, but you can't do anything about it. That's how life is.
ale na to nie ma, tak po prostu jest świat.
We mustn't end our conversation on such a sad thought, though. Could you tell us something more positive?
No,
Fine, let me say that in some time I will be attending a christening and a wedding, so it's not all that bad.
to dobrze.
Maybe Krzysztof Jr. will surprise you with something.
Nie, no to jeszcze chwilę, on ma 19 lat.
Give him some time, he's only 19 years old. You should wait a bit more, but I'm counting on him in the future. His older brothers haven't said the last words either.
Ostatniego słowa, oczywiście.
Dziękuję bardzo za
Dziękuję
rozmowę.
bardzo.
Państwu także bardzo dziękuję.
Thank you very much for being our guest. Thank you for being with us. Good night.
Jeszcze raz dziękuję, dobranoc.